Good afternoon, traders. It is Monday, August 17th, 2015, and the U.S. stock market is closed. If you heard my video on Friday, you probably surmised I was totally disgusted with this market, and I have to admit, my attitude is improved a little after today. You look in here and see what happened with the Dow. I called the Dow down for today, and it just really fell apart here right on the first half hour. Dow was down well over 100 points, but then it rebounds almost as quickly as it fell, kept building all day, and ended up closing very close to its high. I started trading originally with futures, and this was a pattern that I saw frequently with futures, where you have this big down spike right at the beginning of the day, and then it follows by a rally ending close to the high. And whenever I see this, at least with the futures I used to trade, this was traders flushing out the weak hands that were long. And once they get those weak hands stopped out, the market rebounds and moves higher. This is a very bullish configuration. So based on this, this pattern, I'm calling the Dow up tomorrow. Now this is short term. It doesn't mean that we're not going to continue this slide down to 17,000 that I keep talking about, but this is the first time I've seen something that looks to me pretty healthy for the Dow. So I'm pretty pleased by this action. I was not pleased by the action we saw on Friday and on Thursday. This just looked very, very weak, but this looks strong. This looks pretty bullish. So I am pretty pleased about that. We did end up closing out negative $6,000 because we just got into lousy stuff on Friday. We had 4 positions and nothing was any good, and then of course added to that, we're getting spiked out here. The people that I'm talking about, people getting flushed out. Well, we got flushed out on those 4 positions, and that's why we have negative $6,000. But the good news is we have positive over $9,000 going into tomorrow. We did very nicely on this rally here, and so by the way, the Dow ended up closing up 67 here. Went from well over negative 100 to positive 67 on the close. I'll show you some of the stuff we had today. I'm going to start out with the lousy trade first. This was one of those trades from Friday. This was, by the way, the worst trade we had today. But, on Friday we ended up buying basically the high tick of the day in BITA. That's what we're looking at in BITA. We bought the high tick of the day. It just, sold off from the time we bought it. And this morning, is pretty typical with these kinds of trades. We're stopped out first thing in the morning, and we had a loss of slightly over $3,000 in BITA. That was the worst trade we had. But now I'll show you some of the good stuff that happened today that I was pretty pleased with. This is TANH, TANH, and we had bought this today, just about midday, and it just kept screaming and ended up closing exactly on its high. I mean, I love to see that. Just the absolute high tick of the day was the close in TANH. So I'm assuming we're going to have some more profits coming in tomorrow. We're up about $2,000 in TANH. Then I'll show you another pretty decent trade here. This we haven't had one in a little while, and this is Radius Health, RDUS. we bought this about midday, and it kept going. Not real powerful here, but we are holding about $1,500 in Radius Health. So that's looking pretty good too. And then I'll show you the big one of today. This is really pleasing. This is almost an outlier trade. This is an ESPR Esperion Therapeutics. And we bought this right out of the gate this morning, and it really exploded after we got into it. It was very nice, flattened out, but still closed pretty close to the high, and we are holding over $5,000 in Esperion. So as you can probably tell by the tone of my voice and everything, I am feeling better about these markets today. We had a pretty decent day, and I hope we start getting a turnaround some of the horrible stuff that's been happening recently. So this is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday.